Hey Soul Fam, Amelia Adair here. I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are feeling good and doing good. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. We welcome you. On this channel, we heal, we elevate, we grow, and we work on being better versions of ourselves than we was yesterday. Now, Soul Fam, excuse the traffic. I promise you, I wait to the most quiet moment, and no matter how long I wait, they be coming. They be like, woo, Amelia doing a video. Let me get in there. Let me get my 5 minutes of fame. No, but seriously, Soul Fam, if you have tuned in today, you probably have tuned in to one of the best videos. Listen, Soul Fam, I'm gonna let actions speak louder than words. And y'all know, Soul Fam, I'm not the one to be like, listen, listen, Soul Fam. If God wanted me to say anything through my tongue, it's the message that I have for you today. And it's so layered and it's so thick. We gonna just jump right into it. All right, Soul Fam. Now, I'm gonna do a little. You know what, Soul Fam? Bear with me. Let me turn on this corner, because when I turn on this corner, and you could just fast forward, it's less traffic, and I don't want my words to be stumbled up. I don't want to be distracted. I want to be able to deliver this so clearly for you, and I don't want to miss no avenues, because first of all, when I got the message yesterday, I was sitting there like this. I was like, wait a minute. And I was going through the avenues of the message, and I was like, okay. So I did do just a little, not research, but I wanted to get the numbers as accurate as I can, so that you can really understand what's happening here. All right, this is the street I was talking about. All right, Soul Fam. So let's break it down little by little. Understand this, Soul Fam. Segregation ended 59 years ago, officially. Okay? Now, I could go to the library and go get some more books, but it sounds just about accurate, because if you think about me and my family, my generation, my grandfather is probably about 60, right? And most of us walking around, our grandparents is probably either 80 or they don't know their age. And I know this from just talking to different people and things like that. And I've had many, colored or blacks, African Americans, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm not trying to be technical with the terms, but you get the drift. And their grandmother, they don't have documents of their birth certificate. And Damn, Soul Fam, look, that was another message. God know how I get with them daggone bees, but I know it's something more. Go ahead, get it in there. Listen, Soul Fam. So my grandfather is probably about, he's probably like 62 or 64, right? I don't know if he has a document of that. I never asked him. I just know when we celebrated his 60th, and he's not 75 yet. And so when you think about my grandfather, my own grandfather, and from my father's side, because to be honest, I don't know anyone from my mother's side of the family. Not a soul. I only know what she has told me and what she has showed me. And she's still alive. We're going to get into that, Sophia. So when you think about my grandfather and my grandmother, now my grandmother, she's around the same age. And she's in North Carolina, and she was able to get like property from when there was like when segregation ended and things like that. There was some gifts that was given to the black people in that time, okay? And so she was blessed enough to be someone that received land, and so I guess that was our 40 acres and a mule. So think about that, Soul Fam. That's only 60 years ago, okay? So now let's break it down a little more. Now, when you get to my mother and most parents in my generation age, And y'all know I'm not age. I know sometimes people be like, how old is this woman? I want to tell y'all, but I don't want to tell y'all because people are so wrapped up on age, and you don't get the help you need when you so wrapped up if someone is young, okay? But just know I'm around the 30s, okay? May not even be there yet. Anyway, so when you think about my moms, yeah, I know I'm from New York. When you think about my mom, she was born in the 70s, okay? So most of the generation now that's dating, I would say the 35 to 26 pool, okay, maybe even 40 pool. Our parents, right, didn't have the opportunities that we have, okay? So they didn't go to college 9 times out of 10. And college was probably just new. It was probably just a new thing then, okay? So like most of our parents just had jobs at like the post office, at the desks, at the hospital. You know, they didn't have these jobs that were available definitely for us then. So, or maybe like a police officer, a fireman, you know, like basic jobs. Those jobs that was given to them, so fam, were like at the time when segregation was just ending, women were getting rights. That wasn't, I think sometimes we think it was years ago. That was but 60 or less years ago, so fam. That's not a long time. Like I said, that's my mother. So most of us now that are probably like 30, that was probably the age of our mothers and fathers when they had us, our generation now, there's not that many of us. I don't know what y'all have in y'all vision or what truth's been told to you. But so fam, my generation, the ones that actually went to college, we're the first generation graduates. Right? So we're like, that's why you see so many times, first black woman here, first black man there, first black man there. Well, of course. Duh. Because where do you think these people, the time frame, realistically, and we're still dealing with segregation and things like that here with the mindsets. My generation, most of us just finished school, and most of us has children. Most of them are now having children, and they just had another job, just like our parents. They had a job, paying bills. They not focused on truth. Definitely our parents, they wasn't focused on truth. They wasn't focused on spiritual growth. They was not focused on that. And so one thing is we get upset with our parents not understanding they really did the best they could. On top of them doing the best they could, so fam, they were drugged. Most of our parents have drug addictions. Let's be honest. Or drinking addictions. And not just colored. But we don't focus on the color right now because that's what we're talking about. Most of them have drug addictions. Don't know what love is. Don't know left from right. They only know what they have been told. Because their great-grandparents, you're not going to meet that many black people with great-grandparents, were killed. Come on, so fam. We have to we gotta start being logical here, right? So now, I don't want to lose you. Don't get lost in this sauce, so fam. Because now, what you have is our generation, the 35s, 40s to 26, introduced to social media, which is new, okay? And now trying to have this perfect life and make it seem like there's some kind of pot of gold at the top of the mountain, and there's this group of people that exists, this rich group of people. So then we're the group of people. These women and men that you're walking past and that you're meeting and that you're going to school with are the people. There's no, I don't even know how to break it down in the break it down way. Like, I'm gonna just keep using me, just for scenario purposes. So man, I graduated college, right? When I went to college, I graduated with my bachelor's. Oh, sorry, that bee trying to come on, bee. Hold on. Look, let's breathe for a minute, so fam, because this has to be clear. This has to be clear. Glory. When I went for my bachelor's, right, I was the only black woman that graduated with a degree in computer engineering, right? There weren't no other black women in computer engineering. And most of the women that were in my school were doing baking and were doing, baking and like maybe like associates and things like that. And to try to get a job, to try to get a salary, and this whole dream, okay, that they selling you to live a better life, to do all, to there's but so many jobs available. Definitely now after the pandemic, so fam, these businesses that exist, where do you think they get realistically? And when I worked at Dell, HP, and TD Bank, they were all old men. My point here, soul fam, is as we're meeting people and we're growing and we're making these relationships and we're creating these goals in our mind, we have to be realistic to what our resources available. We have to be realistic with the people that are around us and what we're aiming for, because we're cutting off people, saying, I'm a dime a dozen, I'm this and that. We have to be building with these people. There aren't no other people. It's like, I think we think as we're growing and we're grinding and we're trying to get to the top, that when we get to the top, there's going to be top people, And when you think about the celebrities we've watched, right? Let's talk about Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer is 29, right? And she has a successful life. And she's not the only one that I'm talking about, okay? You got to think about many of the black women and many of the black men, the ones that go into sports. When you think about all the men that trying to be sports, we're going to do men next. Let's focus on Keke Palmer. And she has this big career, okay? And so now, where's Keke Palmer's husband? Okay? When you think about her, there weren't that many. There were black TV stars, but most of them, when you look at their life now, you're like, most of them have mental issues. Not all, okay? I'm not saying all. And most of them are not working on spiritual growth. They're working on being actors. And in hopes to find the love at the top. Not realizing, realistically, if most of us were just slaves 60 years ago, they don't exist. When you think about Michael Jordan is probably 60 years old. Michael Jordan was probably one of the first ones, right? I ain't go look at his history, but if he's 60 years old, he came out and started growing his career probably when things just started making shifts. When you think about Oprah, who was there with Oprah? What dream did they sell Oprah? Because yeah, she may have her riches and things now. And when you think about life, soul fam, money cannot buy you happiness. You get happy when you create loving relationships with people. Then you pass it on to your children. That is what's going to make you happy. When you're sitting at a table with a bunch of people with money, they don't care about you. They care about how they could get money out of you. When you think about Oprah and the people that she may have blessed and things like that, I'm not around Oprah, so I can't say everything. But when you think about it realistically, how many people were building like Oprah in her time that now that she's where she at, she's going to be able to really enjoy it with people that really love her. When you're trying to build and you're trying to grow, you're going to want to spend it around people that give you that real love. So now that we have a generation of people that's dating and divorcing and focusing on their goals, right? Everybody's focusing on their goals and trying to be the next basketball player or the next rapper or the next real estate property buyer. Those are like the three main things that people are doing. They're so focused on that goal that they're not building relationships with people because they have a visual in their head that they're going to meet this magical woman or magical man that time didn't even allow for them to get to that level yet. To get there. You know what I'm saying? Like when I look at all the people that I went to school with, and I went to school with a lot of people. I made it all the way to my master's. So when I even did my bachelor's and I went to school with those people and I was hanging, before I even started coaching, and I went to school with these people, before we were there weren't nobody else there, not colored. And when you think about me, so fam, that's how God is amazing. I do not mean that lightly. Because my mom has 7 generations of children. How ironic. Okay? She had 7 kids. Okay? Now, when you think about 7 generations, okay, you have most of our siblings, the oldest ones are like 35. Okay? My brother, rest in peace, he would have been 35. The most of our siblings is probably like 40, 35. They didn't go to school. If you about 35, 40, you didn't, 9 times out of 10, you didn't go to college. And if you did go to college, you just went to college, like probably in the last 5 years or so, you know. But you didn't go to college. So those 35, 40-year-olds, where are they? Okay, let's keep being logical. Where are they? They're either working at a city job, right? Bus, around a little city, clean maintenance. Maybe as a school teacher. But most of them, like a majority of them, or they have some children, you know, or the military. That was another one. Or they went to the military. And realistically, there's not that many. For some reason, we think it's like so many of us. And listen, if you meet someone that you connect with, you have to build with them. Don't think that you got to be waiting until you got everything together. Because 9 times out of 10, don't nobody got it all together. It don't matter what you're seeing on Instagram and what you're seeing on YouTube. What's happening here in this real life, in this real world, around these real people. And I'm not just talking about in one state. So fam, I be everywhere. I know people from everywhere. We have unrealistic expectations. And then, so fam, what you also gotta realize this, so fam, that the other percentage of, let's say, black men and black women, is both, that exist, are liking the same sex. They're liking the same sex. So, where do you think these black people are at? And the ones that actually made it out, so like, when I say made it out, I guess on TV, when you think about Bow Wow, these people that we grew up with, there's no one before them, okay? Missy Elliott and all the, I guess you could say even the Will Smiths, the list, I'm not gonna name everyone, but you know, the ones that we watch and copy, because they have a big network. They're raising their kids in around each other. Okay, so they have their own rich community. Why do you think they all just be, when you think about Lori Harvey, well, who else is she supposed to be with? Who else is she supposed to be with? There's not that many of us that were really guided into the right places without getting distracted. A lot of us were distracted by the world. A lot of us were distracted by wanting to be liked. A lot of us was distracted by our pain. So now when you see a lot of us are healing and getting back to self and getting back to worth and getting back to roots, it's amazing. Don't become delusional. And not to say you're delusional, but be realistic as you're dating and you're meeting people, thinking, who knows? Who knows? We're so creative. Our minds are so big that we often take out the logic in the time frame because the media is so well polished. Okay, like the media looks really good, Instagram looks really good, you know, all of it looks really good, that you can easily be fooled as you're watching it in your area, thinking one, you're missing something, so you don't work on your own goals, thinking you're not enough. The next time you run into a colored person, understand they are healing the best way they can. They are doing the best way they can. We can't be so hard on them and expect literally miracles to come out of them, breaking them down, wearing them down. Oftentimes too in our families we'll have one person that kind of gets it enough and we'll wear that person down. Don't wear that person down because you don't feel like doing the work to heal your mind, to heal your spirit. Do the work that it takes. Don't think school is for fools. Take your time and get there. There's no rush. Sometimes we just trying to do something real quick so we could post it. Get off of posting for likes. Trying to go viral to make it. Create stuff with some value and take your time. Cause that these relationships that we being so picky and we looking at jobs and we looking at this and we looking at that and we want them to be. Look at the person for who they are. and or who they're trying to be. It got a little noisy right here. Because we're not realistically putting things into perspectives, and we're waiting for someone else to give us more. For men, cheating and treating your woman as if, oh, another one will just come. We are the people in this time that's going to be moving things forward, and we have to be treating our neighbors and building these relationships with some realistic expectations, some respect, and taking our time to do it, and stop thinking we're going to meet someone later on that's going to give us a handout. All right, so fam, it's getting loud. Let me walk back this way. I want to make sure I touch base on everything, because it's real out here. Meaning, I see many young individuals that I run into, and they're focused on trying to make $230 a day, or something that they seem to be a millionaire. Everyone focused on being a millionaire, being a big star, being a big whoever, and ignoring their relationship life and thinking unrealistically, and ending up divorced, alone, and unhappy, and then passing that bitterness on. So then they raising bitter sons and bitter women. And when are we gonna elevate out of this cycle? In this cycle, it's just a vicious cycle that is like, can we get to the root of it? Because everybody else seems to get the grand scheme of things, but for some reason, in the Black community, we're gonna be slowly extinct, and there's not that many of us with a mindset to get it moving forward correctly. There's not. And there's no reason for there not to be. Let me go back this way because the sun keeping me warm. I'm a little chilly. And we have to love each other for who we are, okay? Like, these fantasies of the twerking bodies, who are we trying to create? You're fine how you are. The teeth, we're doing all this aesthetics. Who are you trying to look like? There's nothing wrong with you, unless you're trying to fit into someone's visual. And another thing too, like as far as the beauty, what we think is beautiful. Listen, so fam, you don't need so much to feel beautiful to attract a man or be attractive to that man. Your husband, that's for you, because God isn't gonna bring you here without a partner. Okay, be realistic. Why would he do that? It's going to be attracted to you. But if your partner can't recognize you when he or she see you, y'all gotta just get up in the gym and just eat something clean and regular. And y'all know, regular, or rather simple, because we ain't regular. but simple. I'm telling you, simple. Simple. Keep it simple, fellas, simple. And fellas, stop being afraid to approach that woman. I tell you this, when y'all be approaching, it just make us wanna, ooh, you approach me. That courage, man, women are waiting to see that courage in you. Approach them for that number. Don't ask for their Instagram. Ooh, that one be the one for me. You want to ask me for my Instagram? So you can be in my DM with the 20 million other people that I don't want validation from, but continue to be sending me all this love. Thank you. Yeah, no. Stop asking for her Instagram. Be different. If you want to be different in 2023, you literally just have to be just you. Not pieces of you. Not drawn on yous. Come on. Come on. When you look at all the women that's doing all of that, come on. We got to fix what's in here. And I know for a fact, so fam, I'm telling you, before the Lord just slapped some sense into me, I was right at the doctor trying to figure out, I need this nose together. I need this nose together. And when that doctor said $10,000 or $15,000, I was in my head like, all right, I could get that. You could get a little care credit, you know. Then I was like, listen, if I have to spend $10,000 for you to like me, you don't like me. You don't like me. And that is okay. That is okay. All right, so fam, let's grow. Let's heal. If I get some more message, I'm gonna jump back on here. I'm gonna trust, because I've been going, and I'm just like, there's hope. Okay. Remove the delusions of this reality that we live in, this world right here, and don't think that there's this special group of successful people that you're going to run into when you meet your goals. The media, to listen, get your mind back. Go get your mind back. Go get it back. Okay? And put it back where it belongs. And I'm going to end it right there. If you ever want to book a session with me, my details are always below. Check out Amelia Online Academy for a free guide to see where it is in your life that you need some healing. AmeliaOnlineAcademy.com. Amelia Adair here. Stay safe. Stay logical. Ooh. And I'm going to see you, so fam, at the next one. Bye for now.